We are live. Thank you for joining me for Nathan Plays Badly, Nathan Streams Badly. I was a teenage Xenocolonist. I have not fixed my technical difficulties yet, so we're gonna play a one-off game. This is a visual novel um, that I just got, and it's sort of interesting, but it might not matter if we never come back to it again or not. Wake up. This game deals with mature subjects and may not be suitable for all players. You wake to chaos, a confusion of light and heat and smoke, fire. Your head is pounding. You must have hit it and blacked out, but you aren't sure how you got there or what on Veteran Veterinaria is happening. There's something important you need to remember. Your stomach lurches as the floor crumbles beneath your feet, then collapses. Your body aches. Your eyes burn from the smoke. A figure appears through the flames. It's your friend. Your friend. Wait, why can't you remember her name? She's gesturing and shouting at you, but all you hear is a ringing in your ears. What's going on? You try to speak, but the words come out jumbled. Your throat seizes around a lungful of choking smoke, and you feel dizzy and confused. Your friend pulls you out of the rubble, throws your arm over her shoulder, and half drags you towards the door. Through it, you see a dark, eerie twilight, dark blue, cold, dark blue and cold against the heat of the fire around you. Glow season. Glowing eyes. You shake your head to clear your vision. Is that some kind of dog, like from Earth? The creature howls and lunges its jaws open. You were born on the stratospheric Earth's first colony ship, halfway through its 20-year voyage to a wormhole at the edge of the solar system. Your parents run a hydroponic gardens which make fresh air and vegetables for the ship. Like the other colonists, they bravely chose to make this one-way journey to the uncharted planet Verid, Ver, Veridiuma 4 in the hope that they could escape Earth's troubles. They had you the old-fashioned way, merging their genes like they merged their cultures and traditions. They named you. They named me badly. Your bright-eyed child with an active imagination, sometimes too active, your mom says. Use a slider on the left to choose pronouns, late teen appearance. This can be changed at any time. You have vivid dreams of things you've never experienced. Dirt under your feet, sky overhead, endless jungles, and strange animals. You wonder if this is what Veridim, Verit, Ver, you wonder if this is what the planet is going to be like. Every child on the stratospheric is given one genetic enhancement. By age 6, you see the first signs of yours. Eagle eyes, extra fingers, absorbent brain, super strength, calm temperament. What does calm temperament do? Nothing can faze you. You're rarely frustrated, and you don't let anxiety get the better of you. You brush insults aside, always play nice, and never have to be told that sharing is caring. So plus 10 empathy. And memory, calm temperament. 1. Excuse me. I guess it's called calm temperament 1. There's probably cards that will be 2 or more. You're especially nice to your friend. Energetic and loyal Amon. Tough and gentle Cal. Bold and confident Mars. Quiet and adventurous Dis. Studious and mature Tangent. Shy and sweet Tammy. I suspect Tammy goes really well with empathy. Let's go with Tangent. Studious and mature Tangent. Plus 10 friendship Tangent. Plus 10 reasoning. Plus 10 engineering. Tangent's focus. Wow, this is going really well. Tangent sits right up front by the holo projector and always has her hands in the air. She and her twin brother Dis drifted apart when she started genome treatment to make her body conform to her gender. Today, Tangent is the girl you always knew she was, but her relationship with Dis is worse than ever. Well, that explains some things. We'll be Tangent's friend. Plus 8 stress. Minus 2 from calm temperament perk. You're 10 years old when the ship finally reaches the wormhole. Professor Hale says it's like a doorway to another star system, with the planet that you're going to on the other side. You run emergency drills for months to prepare. When the day finally comes, it starts with a rumble. Then things start to slide off the table. You hurry to gather near the escape pods just in case. Plus 18 stress. The emergency area is crowded with families. It's going to be fine, Badly, your dad soothes. We'll be through the hole and down on the planet before you know it. Just like we practiced. Mom gives him a sharp, worried look. Plus 28 stress. Red emergency lights switch on as the sirens begin to sound. Somewhere distant in the ship, you try to breathe slowly like you were taught, but you're very scared. You look out a porthole. The stars are gone. When you're frightened, you put on a tough face, find a distraction, or get in touch with your emotions. Get in touch with your emotions is the only option I can choose. Okay, minus 10 stress. Plus 2 for ship with Tammy and with Mars, and memory stress cry. You bawl like a baby. It feels good. You aren't the only one. Nearby, your classmate Tammy has tears streaming down her cheeks. Mars is trying quietly to console her. She sighs as your crying makes Tammy wail even more loudly. Your dad puts his arm around you as you let it out. It's 18 stress. You wait. The shaking builds. Then everything starts to get very weird. The hallway stretches, and you're stretching too. Your arms impossibly long. Your head feels like it's slowly filling up like a balloon and contracting down to the size of an atom at the same time. Is this the wormhole? You hear the distant, ominous squeal of metal giving way as the ship shudders and lurches in slow motion. The weirdest part is a sense of deja vu. You're sure this has happened to you before, and you know somehow that everything is going to be okay. The shuddering reaches a crescendo. You hear an impossibly loud crunch and feel weightless for a few seconds before gravity slams you back against the wall. Head first, you black out. As you slip unconscious, you feel yourself twisted out of time. It's today, yesterday, and tomorrow, all at once. More than just one tomorrow, lots of them, different tomorrows. You find yourself in a place that you know from your dreams. Tilled fields, dramatic ridges, and a stranger, but also not a stranger. Grinning as she grabs your hand. Hurry up, she says. I'm not going to let you miss this. Distantly, you can feel the ship shaking. As stop. And hear your parents' worried voices. Feeling safe, you slip further into the warm embrace of the stars. You drift. Gradually, your conscience reforms. You wake up in the medbay. The medbed under you plays a soft tone and an automated voice speaks. 2 weeks have elapsed. 2 weeks have elapsed. The patient's cranial injury has completed healing. They may now be safely discharged. As the fog lifts from your head, you realize something seems different about this room. It's so bright. You try to focus on the window. Something is definitely different. Ground, trees, sunlight. Sunlight. Instead of the familiar blackness of space, bright light from dim blue and yellow suns is streaming through the windows. You peer out and see fields, grass-filled domes, and walls ringed by giant mushroom-like trees. There are construction materials everywhere, and people walking around, outside, on the ground. You better get out there and join them. Rush outside and start your new life. Cautiously step outside to your new life. Oh! Tammy jumps as you step out of the ship's quarters behind her. You're awake! Are you all better? You better go see your dad. She points southeast towards the geodesic domes. Okay, we can talk to her some more too. Tammy looks concerned. You slept for so long after you bumped your head, she says. I bet your parents were worried. Your dad is working over in geoponics near those domes. They're called greenhouses. I would go with you, but well, is this is as far as I've been from the ship since we landed. Tammy stammers, blushing. It's scary out there. Whoops, I didn't mean to click on her again. Hello, Mia Taylor. Badly. Your dad gives you a big warm hug. I'm so happy you're finally awake. Dr. Insons thought it'd be best to keep you asleep while your noggin healed. Your mother and I thought you might sleep away the whole year. My snoozy little gooseberry. Checks your head and looks relieved. He was clearly very worried about you, but covers it with jokes and smiles. It's so embarrassing. Welcome to Vertumia, he says, gesturing towards you, or gesturing around you. You've never seen the stratosphere from the outside, except in pictures. The ship has been separated in two, and parts taken off to form other buildings and a big wall around the whole colony. The alien jungle creeps right up to the wall, only the geodesic greenhouses pass outside of it, dotting their way up the hill. How did you do it so fast? You've been asleep for weeks, my dear, he says, and these geodesic greenhouses practically put themselves up. But some of this is only a quick, temporary solution, he admits. We'll keep growing and improving things once One day, our little colony will be as big as a whole city. Yes, New Taylor. I figured this might be fun to play today, and it might be something that can be played once and not necessarily having to go back to. Something more fun and a little bit more laid back. Oh, before I forget, he pulls out a package from his satchel and hands it to you. You blink and stare at it blankly. Don't you know what day it is? He asks. You honestly don't. You remember him. You remind him that you've been asleep in medbay. Happy birthday! He shouts, wrapping you in a warm hug. Your birthday already? You feel dizzy and you feel a dizzy sense of deja vu. Deja vu. You stare hard at the wrapped package. You know exactly what it is in there. You remember it. No, you dreamed about this package some years ago on the ship. Inside will be a small medallion in the shape of a sun that your dad made by hand. Let's open the package. How? How did you know this? It's exactly as you imagined, as you dreamed. A feeling of panic raises in your throat. Your hands shake. But how? Your dad notices. Are you okay badly? He snaps his fingers. Dr. Instant shouldn't have let you out so early. Sometimes these sleeping meds take a while to wear off. It might make your head feel funny for a few hours. You nod. Maybe. Maybe that's all it is. Someone shouts your dad's name. Listen, I'm so sorry badly, he says. But I have to get back to work. There's an accident. There was an accident when we landed, and he stops himself. Don't worry. We're fixing it, your mom and I. Professor Hale is expecting you in class if you're feeling up to it, your dad says, pointing west to the engineering wing in the rear end of the bisected ship. Then he points to the large doors you came out of earlier. Or you can relax in your quarters until you're feeling better. We'll talk later tonight, he says, and kisses the top of your head and ruffles your hair. Have a wonderful birthday, Badly. I love you. Unlock studies, humanities, and engineering. Give him a manly thumbs up. To enter buildings, click on the door flags beside it, or get close and press enter or another action button. Then choose an activity for the month to gain skills and advance time. There are 13 months a year and 10 years to the end of the game. You'll only have time to focus on a few things. This is Dis. You see Dis sitting on the ground beside some bushes. Is he hiding from somebody? He seems to be watching the gate in the wall to the south, where grown-ups are coming and going. Kids aren't allowed past the walls, he says quietly, without looking up. They say there's nothing to be afraid of, but then why do we need walls? You stare at the gate and have a sudden rush of memory, so strong that you think you might faint. You imagine something crashing through the walls, something enormous and dark and wiggly. For years in space, you've had half remembered nightmares of monsters, of your ship being destroyed, of shifting through wreckage, using that used to be your home, trying to find something. Your dad always told you the dreams weren't real. Breaking you from your daydream, this whispers, I think there are monsters out there. Parents will keep us safe. Ah, 5 loyalty. Maybe, this mumbles. He doesn't look convinced. Looks down at his feet. If you believe everything they say, I guess you should go to school now. Like a good boy. He sneers. You shake the vision from your head. It was just a daydream. This must have made you imagine it with his creepy talk. Why does he always have to be like this? Hiya, Badly. Anna, Anemone seems really at home here. She's rolling a sports ball around with her foot, making patterns in the weird blue snow. This stuff is different from the snow on Earth, she tells you, because it isn't cold. But it's still neat. And you can make stuff out of it. Your foggy head clears a little. Anemone is simple, physical, real. You always feel grounded near her. And you can actually ask her all of these. So, what are you making? Just no spirals, she says. But earlier, me and Cal made a big snow pal. You missed it while you were sleeping in the med bay. She smiles her broad gap, toothless smile at you. Now that you're awake, we can play. You see any monsters? Nope, just some little bugs. Grown-ups would say if there were monsters, right? She shrugs and smiles reassuringly. Even if there were monsters, Chief Riot would beat them all up. So don't worry. My mom says we're safer here than we were in space. Both look at the wreckage of the Stratospheric, the spaceship where you were born. Ammonia's mom, antecedent, is probably right about that. Look what the wormhole did to our ship. Why aren't you in school? She smacks her forehead. School? I wondered where everybody was. I guess I'm going to be late for humanities class. She doesn't look very worried to you. It's okay, she says. Professor Hale is chill. You won't mind, but we should probably go now. She grins and starts running towards engineering. Hey, race you! No fair, she's getting a head start. A low, throbbing noise comes from the engine room, which provides power to the colony. Other corridors lead off to the teaching labs and med bays. You know the route to your classroom well, but the rest of this wing is off limits to children. Concordance? The ship's onboard AI beams down at you from a nearby holoscreen. Don't forget to study hard, Badly. Study life science. 2 biology, 1 reasoning, 1 friendship or tangent, and 15 stress. Or humanities. 2 creativity, 2 persuasion, 1 friend or tangent, and 15 stress. I probably want to do humanities. Welcome, Badly. Professor Hale greets you. I hope you're all warmed up and ready to study the glorious humanities. History, literature, language, media, and philosophy. And yes, if you're lucky, we'll have a little ancient Earth poetry, too. He seems excited about the last bit. By the way, if anyone is interested in taking engineering classes, please register through Conjordiance's scheduling system when you have a chance. She'll be helping me teach them. I have 10 reasoning. I can actually do that. Today's assignment is an easy one, Hale says with a yawn. Because I was up late repairing Concordiance's sub-terminal and I could use an nap. I'd like you to write an essay on what the Vermentia colony means to you. Freedom, equality, democracy! My friends are all here. I feel safe here. Just doodle instead of writing. You know what? I'm going to go for freedom, equality, and democracy. Oh, I got loyalty. And +1 persuasion. You list the keywords you can think of to describe an ideal government. Did you say freedom yet? Although you're not totally sure if the colony's government is a real democracy, you know the council votes on things, but you didn't get a vote. And who chose the council members anyways? The governor? Who chose the governor? The council? You may be a kid, but you can tell you're missing something here. With the one. Okay, when you work or go to class, you play a quick card challenge. As the months pass, more cards to fill the 5 panels and make the best hand you can. Yes, order matters. If your total in the circle on the right reaches the goal value, you win. Depending on your card, some challenges can't be won, but you still get a reward for doing your best. Bonuses for flushes, same color together. Bonuses for pairs, same numbers together. Bonuses for straights, increasing from left to right. The more cards in a flush, pair, or straight, the higher the bonus. Adding to your total, cards can also affect each other and can be arranged to find the best total score. Okay, I got a 0 here, a 0 here, and a 0 here, and then a 1 and a 1. I got bonuses for zeros together and for yellows together. I got bonuses for blues together and for ones together. +1 creativity. Makes +3 creativity, +2 persuasion, and +12 stress. And 1 kudo. Kudos are the currency of the colony. Your skills increase when you work or go to school, with extra skills if you win the challenges, and a kudos bonus if you make the highest score hand with your cards. Working also increases stress, which prevents you from working if it reaches 100. To relieve stress, Take a month off to relax in the quarters wing. Oh, and I also got one friendship tangent. Your parents have been working from first dawn to well after dinner every day. You know, growing food is an important job and it's vital to get crops in the ground right away. But there seems to be something more than that. It's such a change from growing up on the stratospheric when you saw them all the time. You stay up and wait for them at night before going to bed, though you can tell they're exhausted. They make an effort to spend time with you. I'm sorry we haven't seen much of you, little gooseberry. Your dad says your mom watches you as she works a pebble out of her gardening tiller, which also serves as a crutch. How have you been holding up? Learn some stuff in school, or school is so boring. Learn some stuff in school. I'm glad to hear that. Your mom says I want you to. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Your mom says I want you to study hard, work hard, and stay out of trouble. Dad smiles, and Professor Howell will give you kudos if you get good grades. You can spend those at the depot once it's open. You know, says your dad, raising an eyebrow at your mom. I think there are a lot of different ways to learn, and school is just one of them. You can learn from working on a hobby or by helping a friend. Mom shakes her head and sighs, though you can tell she's trying to put on a gentle expression. We both agree that this colony is an experiment, and that means we're going to do things differently than on Earth. You're old enough now to start making your own decisions about your education and future. And if that means you find your own way, we'll accept that. Your dad puts a hand on your shoulder. We'll be proud of you no matter what you do. Try talking to your friends. They may have an idea on how you can spend your time. And come by geoponics, your mom adds. We could use your help. I'm not shoveling dirt in geoponics. We've done the first month, the early quiet. Now we're in the second month, the mid quiet. Monia is bumping a sports ball with her wrist, trying to keep it in the air. Heads up, she shouts, and bumps the ball in your direction. Think fast. Bounce it back. Look out, a ball is flying toward you. Let's bounce it back. Got one plus toughness. Bounce the ball back and forth with her, trying to see how many times you can rally and keep it going. Anya tells you about the new sports ball court, a proper regulation size court, way better than the little zero G one on the stratospheric. Brother Com is coaching the junior sports ball team this year. He's so great, she says. He's good at everything, especially spiking. He coaches me to play it awesome like him. You should come join us. So, Diz, you got anything to say? Diz looks at his feet and pretends not to notice you. Okay. Find your mom hard at work setting up the greenhouse with a small construction crew. You've seen the plans pinned to the wall of your family's quarters for years now. These geodesic domes will house the more delicate plants from Earth: spinach, tomatoes, maybe even fruit. She takes a swig from her cantina as you approach. Looking for something to do? She asks. Remember, Badly, you're responsible for your own schedule that we've now that we've landed. You can decide how to spend your time as long as it's productive. She points toward the engineering wing in the back half of the Stratospheric's severed frame. Professor Hale's still expecting you in class, but a well-rounded education includes practical applications. You're old enough to help with the work around here. She claps her hands on your shoulder. I've got another minute. Anything you need to know? We're just going to say I'm good. Oh, my little potato. Your dad exclaimed, smiling warmly. What have you been up to today? Just hanging out with my friends, staying in. It's cold out here, playing in the fresh air. Breathes deeply and looks slowly around. Vertumia is magnificent, isn't it? You nod. Seasons, he shouts, throwing his hands wide. I miss seasons! Back on Earth, it got much, much colder, and the snow wasn't half as pretty as our spark snow. He sighs, stretching. You just wait until dust season. Both the suns will be high in the sky, and it'll be real hot then. You'll see. Okay, Mars. A sharp whistle interrupts your thoughts. Hey, Badly! Mars calls out to you. Come here, I got a job for you. You walk over to Mars, who's sheltering from the snow under the ship's overhang. It's so gross here, she complains. This spark snow would ruin my good clothes. At least on the ship we had a climate control. Ugh. Tammy made me some soy sweets, but there's no way I'm going out there in all this weather. She continues. Since you like running around in it, could you fetch them for me? Okay. Good. Mars claps. She probably, she's probably just down the hill near our quarters. Mars sighs. She's scared to take more than a few steps from the door. All she wants to do is hide inside and make sweets. Tammy is staring obliviously at the sky, smiling to herself. She startles as you approach. Oh, hello, Badly, she says, pulling her hands to her chest. Do you need something? I'm here for Mars's soy sweets. Tammy smiles at you. Oh, it's so nice of you to help out Mars. She's a very important person, you know. She hands you a box wrapped in a pink and yellow scarf. One order of mango soy sweets, made fresh this morning, she says. Please tell Mars that she can have the scarf back, okay? She used some of her kudos to nano print it for me because it's so dusty here. But I think I'm getting used to it now. Tammy smiles again and tucks her hair behind her big elven ears. Mars is so cool, she says fondly. Sometimes she's kind of bossy, but I know she really cares, too. Mars puts her hand out expectantly. Give it here. Here it is. I ate them. I want half. Need persuasion 5 or 10. Here it is. Got 5 loyalty. You hand over the box of soy sweets with a smile. Mars takes it and giggles. You're such a good sidekick, doing everything I say. She opens the box and hands you a soy sweet. Your tip, she tells you. Oh, an administrator seeks looking for someone to do delivery jobs for the depot, she says. I don't want to do it because, like, ew, running around out here, no. Just go through there, she says, gesturing to the door behind her, and tell them I referred you. I believe that requires toughness or organization. Yeah, need toughness 10 or organization 10. You can. Command is a warrant of long hallways with doors off to tiny nondescript offices. Everyone we pass seems to be hurrying off to something important. The end of one hallway opens into a supply depot, which works as both requisition office and general store. Beyond it are cavernous warehouses stacked high with supplies from Earth, now being gradually unpacked and distributed. Can't check a notice board in here. Colony food shortfall 100% low. Colony security rating evaluating. Upcoming events, we'll be hosting our first annual Vetumalia Festival during the second month of Dust. Notice, take precautions outside the colony boundaries. Xenofauna have been sighted in the area. Survey teams are investigating. And then just the list of the current counselors. We can talk to Tammy again. You see Tammy sitting quietly near the entrance to the lounge. You've known her for, well, your whole entire life. Back on the ship, you used to play with her, where her study partner used to tease her. Ooh, -1, Tammy's confidence. +5 rebellion. Sometimes you tugged her ears when she wasn't looking, or called her bat brain or rabbit head. But all she ever does is giggle nervously like she wants to be in on the joke and doesn't quite understand it. She giggles now as you approach and fidget with her dress. Hello, Badley, she says. Hi, Tammy. Let's do friendship, okay. You were just a kid back then, and now you've grown. More, you see that it was me, and pointless. At the time, Tammy wouldn't even understand what you were teasing her, and the other half, she'd try to join in on it. Instead, you tell her you like her dress. She says she likes your shoes, and after a few seconds of staring at each other, you awkwardly move on. So I don't want to go to school. She pouts, but I guess we have to. You know how to get how to get there right through the door in the engineering wing behind you. You know the big thing with the rockets on top. She laughs. I was confused too at first. I've never seen the ship from outside before. I want to register for engineering classes. Using Configurance's HoloNet scheduling system is almost a test on its own. You feel like a hacker navigating the confusing interface, but manage to add your name to the list of drop-in students. You're now eligible to join Tangent and some of the other students in engineering classes. It might be good to up my toughness. The greenhouses have different biomes inside. Growing plants from Earth that might belong to a desert, jungle, or temperate forest. Some areas are dedicated to have a. Some are so delicate you have to have a spray off. You have to spray off any germs in the airlock before you can enter. The seasonal gardens outside is dotted with blue nobodies. Little flowers that look like wiggling creatures stuck inside each one. With what looks like wiggling creatures stuck inside each one. A sign explains this is a decoy meant to attract some kind of flying predator to come pollinate the flowers. So if I shovel dirt, I can get 3 toughness, 5 kudos, and 15 stress. Wait a moment. Hmm. Maybe I try sports ball. A small team led by the security chief Rat was enough to keep the peace on the stratospheric. To stay busy, they also ran the exercise gym and sports ball courts. Here on the planet, the garrison has expanded fast. They're building a huge wall around the colony and have an outdoor firing range and a big covered dojo. Best of all, a regulation sized sports ball court. Give me bravery and toughness, plus friendship with ammonia and 10 stress. I do want to increase my toughness. Ammonia meets you on the court. She bounces from one leg to the other in excitement. My brother Com is organizing the youth team, she tells you. Kombacha offers you a high five and greeting, then tosses a snowball your way, or a sports ball your way. Let's start with a practice game to see what you're good at. You and Ammonia are team captains. Pick your team. Ammonia used to practice with Cal and Mars on the ship. But Tammy, you're surprised to see her here. Com will fill in to even up the teams, but he promises to go easy on the other side. I'm surprised to see Tammy here because she can't leave the side of the ship. She's too scared. Um, let's choose Kombacha. Khan was clearly the best choice. He's 5 years older than any of you. You'll definitely win with him as your forward. Ammonia chooses Mars. She takes her position as striker with an eager look in her face. And Cal. Mind if I play goalie? He asked. Sports ball is fun, but it feels mean to score against the other team. Face off, 3-on-3. Story challenges have 3 rounds instead of one. After every round, you'll keep the cards you didn't play and unlock an extra slot to play them in. Losing isn't always a bad thing in story challenges. Okay? Losing isn't a bad thing. It is the only thing. Next round. 0, 0, 2. One of these. Well, instead of that one, I put that one. 6. That gives me 7. That's better. I need 5, and I got 4 points. Those two, and that one. And that gives me what I need, and extra. -1 stress, +1 toughness, +1 kudos. I thought there was a secondary that was supposed to raise. You play net stop. Com could probably run the entire field himself, but each time he gets the ball, he passes it off to someone else on the team. Cal makes an amazing jump save, but is winded when the ball hits him in the chest. Five plus 5 kudos and gain the memory playing sports ball. Score is tied with Ammonia and Mars aggressively keeping the ball in your zone. Kombacha manages to intercept it and punts it to you. Bam! You score the match point with a rapid spike all the way from the net line. +2 bravery, +1 toughness, and +8 stress. This week you had a few more bouts of deja vu, remembering when somebody is about to say or do just what somebody is about to say or do just before they do it. Sometimes they actually do it, but not always. This morning you were sure Professor Hale was going to trip on the uneven floor in the cafeteria and spill his plate of hash browns. You even told Mars to watch. He didn't, though. Professor Hale walked away, his hash browns safe for today. Mars called you a liar and a dummy. At night, your dreams are all mixed with the stuff that you know can't be real. You're chased by monsters the size of buildings, only to be saved by strange people you've never met. You're holding hands with someone you love. You're crying as you help lift a shrouded body into the colony recycler. Everybody seems so familiar, but when you try to recall their faces, when you wake up, they're smeared in your memory like wet paint. But what if What if those things haven't happened yet? But they will someday. Anytime you try to tell someone, they think you're playing a trick or that you're sick and need to go to medbay. You eventually decide to stay quiet about your strange dreams. Why? Don't want people to worry. Just want to be normal. Secret powers are fun. Secret powers are fun. You start keeping a private journal of on your holopalm, recording the events where you remember something before it happens. You also write down your dreams when you have the feeling of being when they have the feeling of being real. You like the idea of being magic and seeing the future, but some of these dreams are very scary. You hope that, like Professor Howe's hash browns, they don't all come true. Mid quiet, late quiet. So Tangent has something she wants to talk about. Tangent is hunched over her holopad, following and poking angrily, frowning and poking angrily at the air. She speaks without looking up at you. Professor Howe prep. Wants us to prep a list of native flora with pictures. There should be a catalog in the Colony HoloNet, but I can't find it anywhere. Plants, tried looking outside? I'll help you with that catalog. Let's make our own list. I'll help you with that catalog. What's one organization plus two friendship and tangent? Launch your own holopalm and start searching the Colony HoloNet archives for a list of vetemorial plants and animals. 10 minutes later, you find it buried under under survey logistics in the expedition's net. Ammonia passes by and pulls a face at the two of you. Hey, hollow nerds! She shouts. School's over. Come play sports ball in the sunshine. Tane just rolls her eyes. Actually, I can do things with her with empathy, can't I? Oh no, persuasion. I have all these kudos and nowhere to spend them yet, Mars says, sighing. Sweet says the depot store won't be open till next year. How am I supposed to show off how much better and hardworking I am than everyone else? Yes, but if you stand up there all day, are you really more hardworking than everybody else? Cal is riding around the geoponics gardens on his hoverboard. The board comes to a sudden stuttering stop on the rocky ground in front of you. Cal falls off but catches his balance before he eats dirt. Hi, Badly. Real ground is way harder to hover on than ship's floors. There are bumps everywhere. We all have to adapt. Yeah, Cal exclaims. Things are actually way better planetside. Hovering outside is rad. Look at this. He runs over the small depression in a nearby hill and presents it like it's something amazing. Look at this. It's a skate bowl. What now? Like it's all around the side. It's all around and the sides go up. Cal gestures to the bowl. So you can do hover tricks. He jumps on his board and shows you how it's done. Can I try it? +1 toughness and 2 friendship Cal. Sure, but please be careful. Mom says that if I break my hoverboard, we can't make another one. You take turns riding around the bowl, trying to get up enough speed, going down one side and come back up the other. You don't land any tricks. It's hard just staying on the board with this uneven ground, but it's still fun. There's probably some joke in there about whether or not that's a pit bull. What are you up to? Oh, you found me. This is just better than you expected life on the surface. He's already found new places to hide and do whatever he does out there by himself. You step cautiously through the colony gates. Hey there, kiddo! Uncle Tolan blocks your way with a smile. Tony. I'm afraid expeditions is off limits for now. It's not safe out there for kids. You better toughen up so you can join the squad when you're older. Okay. We got a map. And a bestiary. Float cow, that's really funny. It has bags that it can fill with lighter than air gas, which makes it actually literally float. And it has salty milk. Hopeye hops around on one foot and has 4 eyes, 2 up front like most mammals do, and then 2 on the sides so it can look to the sides. And a manticore, everybody knows what a manticore is. Bad news. Okay, what are we going to do? Nope, I didn't want to talk to Tangent. We'll talk to Tangent. Tangent looks at the sky and shades her eyes. It's too bright, she complains. And it's too hot. And the nights are cold. Living on the stratospheric meant we never had to experience discomfort. Remind me, why are we putting our resources into repairing the ship? Oh, why aren't we putting our resources into repairing the ship? Actually wanted to go in here. We're going to do some engineering. Professor Hale rubs his hands together as he waits for the class to settle down. He's in a great mood. This must be his favorite subject to teach. If biology and chemistry are the wet sciences, then engineering must be a dry one. But believe me, this class definitely won't be dry. He winks. It's weird. We'll also be learning math, physics, computer, robotics, architecture, and astronomy. Tangent raises her hand. Will we also learn about nuclear engineering? Yeah. you're 10 and you want to learn about nuclear engineering? Professor Hale nods. Yes, at a beginning level, we'll have an overview of atomic theory and make a field trip to the engine room to learn how our ship's nuclear reactor works to power the colony. Okay. Studying engineering. Looking for more difficulty, this hard card challenge option will make it will keep you on your toes. Want to focus on story? This will replace future minigames with quick coin flip based on your agent skills. You can change either option anytime from the settings menu. Okay, right now I'm just going to keep going normally. Okay. We got 0, 1, 2. But is that the best way? If I put this, whoops. If I put it like that, nope, that's 11. Put that there, 14. So that's the best. Victorious. +1 engineering. +3 engineering, +2 reasoning, +12 stress, +1 kudos, and +1 friendship with tangent. Late quiet into early pollen. This is listening to his heart speak, completely ignoring you. You put yourself in his field of vision and he scrolls. What do you want? Leave me alone. I found a hefty red Zeo egg. Zeno egg. Oh, you found me. This is just seem better than you'd expect life on the surface. He's already found a new place to hide and do whatever he does out there by himself. Would this interest you? Thank you. This says clearly unsure how to react. I'll find something to do with it. Okay. I believe I can do one more thing before I'm completely stressed out. I'll shovel some dirt. It's your first day in the glorious world of agricultural soil conveyance. Oh boy. Good morning, Badley. Looks like you're working for your old lady. I hope you don't expect me to go easy on you just because you're my son. She walks you around the geoponics wing and points out where everything is. Your job is to move sod, compost, plants, garden waste, and equipment from one place to another. Get comfortable with this, she says, pushing a squeaky old-fashioned wheelbarrow towards you. Now, any questions before you start moving the dirt? Don't we have machines for this? The construction crew already claimed all the hover lifts, she said, shrugging. But they'll break down in a few years anyways. We don't have the materials to fix them. She grips your forearm. We're planet side now. Use your muscles. Nature's hydraulic pistons. Let's get to work. This is my boy, your mom says. Oh, that's my boy, your mom says, slapping you on the back. You stumble a little. 8 stress, +1 toughness. Your arms start to ache after the first half hour of work, but you keep going. By the end of the month, you feel utterly drained and exhausted. And good somehow. You can feel your muscles growing already. Get to work. Okay, giggling and calm temperament. And those two and one. And that is not the best setup. If I put this here, gets one, and I get three of a kind here. But if I put this here, that's even better, 16, because I get four of a kind here. I don't get the yellows together bonus, but that's okay. You work well this month. Plus 4 toughness, plus 6 kudos, and 12 stress. And plus 1 friendship count. You wake from an afternoon nap. Oh no. The dream you're in is one you've had many times. The air is strangely pink and fluffy, kind of sickly, and you have to push your way through it. It feels like every step takes an eternity. You push through the pink cloud and emerge into the children's catch, a room you know well. See your friend Tammy standing before an enormous bear made of pure light. It lunges at her, through her, and she collapsed to the ground like a fainting fairy tale princess. You wake with your heart racing. Tammy is leaning over you, where you've been sleeping, in a nest of pillows. She shakes your shoulder gently. "Oh, I'm sorry badly," she says, as if speaking to a small child. I think you were having a nightmare. Are you okay? Are you? Nothing bad happened in the dream, but you feel sick with dread. Since you're awake, you should visit the cafeteria. Auntie Seaton is making a new kind of candy. She says it's made of cotton. Isn't that weird? I have to go tidy up the crutch first. Crutch? And then I'll meet you there. Save some for me, okay? Tammy skips off towards the crutch, humming to herself. You feel groggy and need a minute to clear your head. That dream. Forget dreams, get that candy. Wait, go say Tammy. I don't want any candy. Wait, go say Tammy. You sprint down the hall to the children's crutch, where the little kids play and learn during the day. It's empty. All the young kids are probably off eating candy with Auntie Seaton. You spot Tammy tidying up some drawing supplies near the crafts bin. Above her, a hollow projector displays an enormous floating teddy bear made of pure light. It bobs silently in the air. Master Bearsworth. A decade of happy memories playing with it flashes through your mind in an instant. Tammy stands up on her toes and reaches for the switch to turn it off. You slam into her, knocking her off her feet into the ground. At the same moment, the hollow projector sparks and explodes. The bear disappears. The whole room goes dark. Save Tammy! In the dim emergency lights, you see Tammy's eyes wide with surprise and fear. She sits up and rubs her elbow, staring at you. Sorry, are you hurt? I just saved your life. It was an accident. I tripped. Sorry, are you hurt? It's okay. She sniffles, looking like she might start crying. Why? Why did you do that? Owie! I just saved your life. My life? She says. She peers into the dark room even more, looking even more frightened. How? You try to explain that the holo projector was going to shock her, but she doesn't seem to understand. What? How? But it's Master Bearsworth, she says. It's just a toy. She doesn't believe you, but that's okay. You're just happy that you followed your dream and got here in time. You decided not to mention the dream since she seems weirded out already. After a minute, the lights come back on. The projector is dead. A thick trickle of stinky smoke coming from the base. Don't worry, Tammy says, brightening as she gets to her feet. Professor Hal can fix it. He can fix anything. By the time you find the professor and finish cleaning up, you've forgotten all about the pink candy in the cafeteria. Saving Tammy. Okay, confession time. I have seen this game played at least twice, and in both times, you don't save Tammy. She dies. I'm surprised that I was able to do that. Stressed out. You're too stressed out and you need to take a month off. You meet your dad, adjusting a water bottle in your mom's flower garden. He's having a sneezing fit. His eyes runny and red. You're alarmed. You've never seen him look sick before. People were hardly ever ill on the Stratosphere, except sometimes when the zero-G rings made them queasy. Not to worry, my little beanstalk, he says nasally. I'll be fine, it's just pollen making my head a little stuffy. Wipes his nose with a handkerchief and looks around. Everywhere you turn, the air is soupy and tinged with pink from all the floating pollen. On Earth, your dad tells you, we used to call this hay fever. Even though it has nothing to do with hay. Oh, even though it has nothing to do with hay, your mom cuts in, carrying a large bouquet of flowers. The native flowers seem to be in full bloom this time of year. She buries her nose deep in them, and they smell fantastic. Dad smiles back and agrees that they sure are beautiful. Then he blows his nose loudly. Sniff the flowers tentatively. They do smell, and they look harmless. They do smell good, and they look harmless. Your dad's eyes look so sad, but maybe that's just the allergies. Hey, Badly, I know that the last few weeks have been very hard on you. This might be a good time to relax and stick around in the quarters wing. You have no idea how bad it could have been. The ship's quarters are where everyone sleeps, eats, and hangs out. The private bedrooms are small. You share one with your parents, so colonists spend most of the time in the big common area. There's a lounge and a cafeteria and a crèche where all the little kids and babies are raised communally. And I just realized I didn't actually run around and make sure there was nobody else who had anything to say. Tangent has something to say. This is staring at the ground just outside the gate, under the watchful eyes of someone working in expeditions. We're just as stuck here as we are on the ship, he mumbles. But he didn't say anything else after that. Tammy has something to say. As well. Tammy is sitting down in the grass with a baby on her lap. They're playing nicely with some flowers, or a strand of the beads in Tammy's hair, or something. Tammy keeps gently removing her hair from the baby's mouth. Oh, badly, she giggles as you join her. Aren't babies the best? Unlocked babysitting in the living quarters. Interesting. There are so many new babies in the crèche. You'd think they were starting a colony or something. Tammy laughs. But the parents are too busy doing other work, and somebody needs to take care of the little ones. She looks down lovingly to the baby who is now sucking on part of her skirt, getting it good and damp with baby drool. You could help too, it would be fun. The baby chooses this moment to spit up a big puddle of pale yellow liquid into Tammy's dress. Oopsie! Tammy coos and picks the baby up, then she holds them out toward you. Could you take them for a moment while I find a towel badly? The baby hiccups and rolls their eyes. They still look a little queasy to you. Okay, I guess. You hold the child at arm's length, willing them to keep the rest of their stomach contents in. They hiccup again and let out a tremendous belch, as loud as a drunken sailor. You have to admit, that was kind of cute. Badly, Tangent says, approaching you with purpose. We need to discuss my brother. Who dis? Yes, this, she says impatiently. I need you to figure out where he's been disappearing ever since we landed. I barely see him anymore. He doesn't even come home at night sometimes, and She trails off and looks at her feet. Well, I'm not on very good terms with my brother of late, but people are becoming worried. You get the feeling Tang is the one who's worried, but she doesn't want to admit it. Talk to him, I'll find out. That's his own business. I'll find out. Thank you, Badly, she says, looking relieved for a second before her expression hardens again. I mean, it would be a ridiculous waste of resources if something happened to him and no one knew where he was or how to find him. Right, of course, Tang doesn't get worried. I believe this is a bravery, just kind of a bravery roll, and I don't have the bravery to do it, but we're gonna see. No, friendship. You tell his sister Tangent wants to know where he's been disappearing off to. His eyes flip briefly to yours, then he stares vaguely off towards the engineering wing where his sister is reading on her hollow palm between classes. He doesn't say anything. I should probably stop shaking like that. She's worried about you. You better tell me or else. Just leave him alone. You better tell me or else. This looks down at the patch of bubble buds sprouting from the crack in the wall. He squirms. I I don't have to tell you, he says quietly. Just leave me alone. Well, that didn't work. But I didn't have the friendship enough to try and convince him. I don't think he would have been convinced by saying, you know, your sister's worried about you, so. The ship's quarters are where everyone sleeps, eats, and hangs out. Oh, yeah, I already read that. So now I can do babysitting in here if I wasn't stressed out. Relax in the lounge. +1 friendship with Tammy. And 100 stress. -100 for stress and forget 1 memory. Lounge is long, well lit hall along the outer hall of the ship's midsection. It's strewn with tables and cushions and serves as a communal living room for the tiny one-room spaces every family is assigned. Flop down onto the lounge's big bean bag pile while some of the other kids, with some of the other kids. Cal has a dazed, peaceful look on his face. The air smells so good on Verinima, and so does the dirt, even. You notice his clothes are filthy, but obviously Cal couldn't care less. Ammonia bounces in. Holy crap, there's so much space to run around and play in. Com and Chief Radit set up a outdoor sports ball court, and it is way huger than the old one on the ship. Tangent carefully selects one cushion from the pile and perches on it. The school is expanding to some of the empty engineering bays, she tells you. We're getting a big new lab to do experiments using local resources. There's so much to learn about this planet. Ammonia rolls her eyes, but Tang continues. We shouldn't forget our studies just because we've landed, she says primly. Tang is right, school is important. School, let's play outside. I want to explore the jungle. I miss this. I want to explore the jungle. Rebel and +2 friends with this. Badley's right. You hear over your shoulder and you startle to find Dis standing right behind you. Gah! When did he get there? Did you see those huge beasts in the jungle as we were landing? Dis continues picking at the thread of his sweater until it unravels. I wonder if there are more out there. Oh, you've had less deja vu dreams come to life feelings this week, and you're starting to think you'd even imagine it. But suddenly you get a prickling sensation in the back of your neck, and remember that Mars is about to enter the lounge and tell everyone to look outside. You stare at the door. Mars walks through it as if on cue. OMG! Everybody look outside. They're hoisting a flag over the command, she says, clapping her hands excitedly. You know what that means, right? She stands tall with her hands on her hips. Vermidia is officially humanity's first xenocolony ever. You look out at the flag, feeling dizzy, and silently mouth the words along to what she says next. You remember this moment as well. This is history, kids, she exclaims, wrapping ammonia and tangent under each arm. And we were there. You took the month off, and I am forgetting wondering. Because get rid of the zeros when you can. Late pollen. So you can forget a memory and when you relax, and you should forget zeros. They can add points by being in a straight or being grouped together or being grouped together by color. But they don't give you points any other way. They just kind of show up and are there alone. So if I want to get this to show me his secret, I have to up my fitness. But I wonder what babysitting gives me. More empathy. And creativity and friendship with Tammy. I think I'm going to do that, though. Hello, Badly, Antecedent greets you. Oh, sweetheart, I'm so happy you've come back to help. You know this place well. The Creech. Part preschool, part all-day daycare. You practically grew up here. Cared for communally while your parents worked their shifts. A few kids even live in there full time. In a way, Antecedent, aka Annie, aka Antecedent, is every kid's mom. The smell of craft glue and clean blankets gives you a common sense memory of all the happy times you spent here with your friends. Tammy is here too, gently rocking a drowsy baby against her chest. She looks at ease here in a way you don't usually see. You're going to babysit too? She asked in an excited stage whisper. You'll love it. Suddenly, a bundle of wild hair and pink overalls runs straight into you, nearly knocking you over. Almost more kitten than kid, the child grabs your legs and stares up at you with unblinking green eyes. Watch that one, Antecedent warns. You remember not. She's turning out to be quite the handful. Why don't you start off by getting her to go down for a nap? Let's play a game with her if she's so energetic. Sports ball! She shouts and puts an extra bouncy inflatable ball from a cubbyhole. You show not how to bounce it on your head and bounce it gently up and down. Of course, when she tries, she bops it with such force that it flies across the room. She chases after it, clapping excitedly. Plus 3 stress, okay? Not makes a beeline for some older kids who are playing with a Credo bot. She charges in to pick up the bot and hug it, causing it to flail and whirl and knock both her and itself over. By the time you get to the scene of the crime, there are tears, and the other kids are upset about their broken bot. The commotion attracts the attention of Antecedent, who swoops in with hugs and tissues. Within minutes, she has it under control. Whoops, she says, hauling Knot up into her hip with ease. Just a little mix-up. Don't worry, everyone. Badly will get that bot fixed in a jiffy. She winks at you with a warm smile. Babysitting. We got a 0, 1, 2. And well, that can't go there. That's going to make them all ones. 14. If I move this over this way, it's not going to get these straight, but it'll get a 3 of a kind. Yeah, that's better. Victorious, you worked well this month. Plus 3 empathy, which makes me almost 20. 23. Plus 1 creativity, kudos, stress, and plus 1 friendship with Tammy. Okay. Early dust. What memories do we have? Okay. That's what I'm looking for. This is listening to his heart speak, completely ignoring you. What do you want? Leave me alone. Does this interest you? Thank you. This is clearly unsure about how to react. I'll find something to do with it. Okay, well, let's look around, see if we need to talk to anybody. Nope. It's so hot, she complains. How am I supposed to run in these conditions? And you step cautiously through the colony gates. Hey there, kiddo. Uncle Tone blocks your way with a smile. I'm afraid expeditions is off limits for now. It's not safe out there for kids. You better toughen up so you can join the squad when you're older. Okay. Want to check that because in other games he's perpetually sad, which happens when you lose a child. Shovel dirt. You find yourself debating whether it's better to be too hot or too cold. Having only really been too cold a handful of times in your life, usually when the Stratos climate control system broke down, you decide you'd rather be too cold. At least if you're cold, you can just put on more clothes, right? There's a limit to how naked you can be while you're working. Get to work. Shoveling dirt. Okay, first steps, then playing sports ball. then come temperament and first words, and finally +4 for Tammy. We're saving Tammy. You worked well this month. 5 toughness, 6 kudos, and 12 stress. It's time for the two mineral. Etiquette and the council have called a festival to celebrate life here on the planet. Everyone gathers in the colony square to hear Governor Eticotte's speech. In Earth's history, Etiquette begins and then clears her throat and waits for everyone to quiet down. In Earth's history, Victoria was known as the god of seasons, changes, gardens, and fruit. It's not coincidence that our forebears of the Virtunia project chose to take on such an auspicious name in the hopes of seeding future bountiful seasons of humanity. We will continue this tradition of Batumialia, a summer festival to celebrate our Virtumiela, this lush planet upon which we find ourselves today. Yay. Everyone cheers and applauds. And I got +5 loyalty for that. The members of the council all get up on stage, one at a time, to give their own short speeches. Governor Etiquette announces each one. And then this is the same thing that was on the notice board. Governor Etiquette, command. Chief Administrator, seek, command. The Security Chief, Rhett, Garrison. Chief Engineer, Instance, Engineering. Chief Cultivator, Falua, Geoponics. Chief Steward, Antecedent. Quarters. Chief Surveyor, Melatonin Expeditions. Man, Tammy's father can really put people to sleep. Boom. When it's your mother Falua's turn, she announces that tonight you'll be eating some of the very first crops grown in the Tolumian soil. Your eyes go to the feast table aboard the Stratosphere. It would have been mostly soy-based food from the nanoprinters, spiced up with what precious fruits and vegetables could be grown in a small growing base. This year, the earth plants look even less robust than usual, but they're supplemented by some Vatumian plants that you come to appreciate. Juicy potato pods and slabs of edible fungi. Etiquette takes the stage after everyone on the council has said their piece. What is a festival without festivities? She asked. Professor Hal and Security Chief Rhett have organized a 3-part competition for the kids. Good luck, children. Which one do you want to join? plot wrestling science fair. Also a talent show, but I don't have 5 creativity. I'll just watch. Competitions are done. Let's do the science fair. Plus 5 oil. Tangent competes, of course, entering her study of the ship's hydro recycling system. It was previously used to make urine drinkable, but she offers that it could now be turned to new uses. Despite how many times she says the word pee, it's still boring, but she puts a lot of effort into it. Tammy has a science project too. She tells you she wasn't strong enough for the strength competition and she's too scared to go on stage for a talent show. So, science fair it is. You think her experiment was supposed to be putting white flowers in red food coloring to turn them red, but the flowers all turn blue instead. Tammy can't explain why. And she just keeps blushing and giggling in embarrassment. Flowers are very pretty, though. She tucks one behind your ear for good luck as you prepare to give your presentation. Researching challenge. Okay, normally I would say the best thing here is to stick those together, but I can stick this in between and make both of those one. So I doubt it's as good. 5, 7. 7's plus. 0, 1, 1, 1. 8. Well, 11. I guess that's better. See, that's why you get rid of the zeros. No, no, no. This 0 first. This 0. That'll give us 1 for both zeros. 2, 4, and 3. Take off the 4. 8, 13. I guess I could press through with 45 stress. This one's just almost undoable. Give up. Defeated. 2 stars. Apparently there was something I could have done more. -1 stress. Tangent wins. She accepted her prize with grace, having expected nothing less. I got +2 friendship with Tangent and +2 friendship with Tam. The baking soda volcano was much less impressive than you imagined. It just kind of fizzled. And you didn't explain it very well. It's pretty clear your dad helped. Maybe next year. I figure that's the point of that challenge is that -50 stress. Wow. I figure that's the point of that challenge that it's so tough you can't do it the first year. You have to come back and do it in later years. After the festivities are over, everyone takes time off for a much needed break. Featuring the fierce heat of during the fierce heat of dust, a few days rest is exactly what you needed. You feel refreshed. Mid-dust. So Cal wants to talk. looking for Cal in the garden when you nearly trip over someone else, one of the younger kids, and they're blindfolded. Hey! They exclaim, ripping the blindfold off of their face and throwing it on the ground. It's Curtis, one of Ammonia's. Oh, it's Citrus, one of Ammonia's brothers. He glares at you. I was almost done. Cal jogs over and grabs Citrus by a friendly headlock, ruffling his messy red hair. Dude, you were so close. Curtis stamps his feet and complains that you got hit in his way. It's not his fault, Cal says. He didn't know you were playing a game? Give me a second. I want to teach him how to play. Cal turns to you as Curtis leaves. Sorry, badly, he says sheepishly. I was teaching Curtis a new game, Citrus a new game. But he's more like Ammonia than I thought. Real competitive, you know? He stoops to pick up a blindfold, brushes off the dirt. I've been trying to come up with a different kind of game, with different kinds of games other than sports ball, he says. No winners or losers. I just want to have fun with my friends. Cal looks up at you hopefully. Do you want to learn how to play? Sounds like a total waste of time. Let me check my schedule. Yes. +2 friendship with Cal. Cal smiles. Looks like it's going to stretch right off his face. Radical! He shouts, jumping up and down with excitement. Okay, so first put on this blindfold. Blindfold is a little scratchy and smells like dirt. You can feel Cal's big hand on your shoulders. I'm going to spin you around, and when I let go, you're going to listen to my instructions. We're going to walk all the way to the cafeteria, okay? You nod. You can see Cal's grin. And you can't see Cal's grin, but you can hear it in his voice. Excuse me. As he spins you around and counts to 10. 1, 2, 3. First, Cal says, you gotta walk forward 10 steps. You follow Cal's instructions as best you can, or you make it difficult for him. Do your best. Take 10 steps straight forward, holding your hands out for balance. The rocky dirt between the garden beds crunches under your feet. Yeah, Cal says. Now turn to your right and take 15 steps until you get to the door. Get it right. You turn to the right and walk forward, counting out 15 steps. When you stop, Cal laughs. You can hear his footsteps crunching behind you. I forgot how much bigger I am than you. You're like 2 more steps away. Take 2 more steps until your outstretched hands land on the warm metal of the door. Success. Awesome, Cal says. But you can't help but smile. This is fun. Now hit the door button on the right and then keep walking forward until I say stop. Go really slowly, okay? Can you trust him? You trust him. You open the door and start to walk forward. The path slopes downward and your feet slap a little bit. Your feet slip a little bit, even though you're moving as slowly as you can. Real dirt is nothing like the metal floors of stratospheric. It's turbo rocky there, Cal says, and you can feel uneasiness prickle the back of your arms. Just keep going forward slowly. You trust him. You slowly creep down the slope to the center of the colony, somehow managing not to bump into anything. Cal cheers. Okay, now Turn a little to your right and keep walking straight. We're so close. Carefully pick your way forwards, stopping when you hear Mars' unmistakable voice ring across the courtyard. What are you numbskulls doing? Cal tells her you're playing a game. Is that a real game? Mars scoffs. It looks like Badley is just wandering around with a scarf over his eyes. Aren't you a little old for this? Whoa, bravery 20. Okay. Well, I don't have that. Maybe she's right. Embarrassment turns in your belly as you tear off the blindfold, blinking away tears in the sudden brightness, as you can see Mars looking down her nose at you. Mars sneers, tossing her braids over her shoulder. I thought you were cooler, Badly. Let me know when you're ready to play adult games. You're not sure what she means by that. I'm not sure I know what she means by that either. You become aware of Cal standing behind you. Sorry, Badly, he says quietly. I guess it is kind of a silly game. You ask if he wants to get some potato juice from the cafeteria instead. You spend the afternoon brainstorming ideas for more games with no winners or losers. And we are at 3:05, so we are going to call it here. System. Save. New save. Thank you for joining me for Nathan Plays Badly, Nathan Streams Badly. I was a teenage Xenocolonist. I stream on Tuesdays from 3 to 5 ish, and then the videos go up a week later on Wednesday on YouTube. I am currently doing some special streams on Friday from 9:30 to whenever, and those streams go up on YouTube a week later on Saturday. And also check out my YouTube video for a playthrough of Stardew Valley 1.6. I think 2 weeks from today I will not be streaming. I've got a other appointment that I got to do. But I should be streaming that Friday. Thank you and goodbye.